Trump's budget chief claims Democrats could deliberately extend federal shutdown until the president has delivered his State of the Union on January 30. Donald Trump's budget chief predicted on Sunday that Democrats will deliberately extend the federal shutdown until the president has delivered his State of the Union on January 30. Office of Management and Budget Director Mick Mulvaney said on Fox News Sunday that he believes Democrats want to see the president give the State of the Union under a shutdown. Mulvaney claimed the Democrats are trying to hurt Trump by keeping the government closed. Restive Senate moderates in both parties searched for a solution to a partisan stalemate as they raced toward a late-night showdown vote and their last chance to reopen the federal government before hundreds of thousands of federal workers are forced to stay home Monday. Lawmakers on Capitol Hill said they were pursuing a deal to end the rare closure, prompted Friday by a messy tussle over immigration and spending. There were no indications that a firm agreement had been reached, or that leaders of either party or the White House were on board. A stopgap spending measure was slated for a vote on Monday after midnight, but Democrats have so far refused to go along with the temporary fix. Republicans have appeared increasingly confident that Democrats were bearing the brunt of criticism for the shutdown and that they would ultimately buckle. The White House and GOP leadership said they would not negotiate with Democrats on immigration until the government is reopened. There were indications Sunday that Democratic resolve was beginning to waver, with growing worries that a prolonged shutdown could prove to be an electoral headache for the party just as they have grown confident about their prospects in November. The Senate's number 2 Republican, Sen. John Cornyn of Texas, indicated that Republican leaders were skeptical that Democrats would budge. Asked whether he thought the government would be closed Monday, he said, "Right now, yes, I do." Frustrated with the government shutdown, Trump again floated the idea of changing the Senate rules so that legislation can pass with only a majority vote. "Great to see how hard Republicans are fighting for our military and safety at the border. The Dems just want illegal immigrants to pour into our nation unchecked," Trump wrote Sunday. If stalemate continues, Republicans should go to 51%, nuclear option, and vote on real, long-term budget, no C.Rs. The president has long urged Senate leadership to scratch the 60-vote legislative filibuster, which would allow bills to flow through with only a simple majority, but Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell nixed the idea. In May, when the president was last loudly grumbling about the filibuster, McConnell said there simply weren't enough senators to vote to go nuclear. "There are not the votes in the Senate, as I've said repeatedly to the president and to all of you, to change the rules of the Senate," McConnell told reporters at the time. "The votes are simply not there." But the good news is the top 2 priorities of the president don't require anything more than a simple majority. A spokesman for McConnell, David Popp, reiterated this point Sunday to USA Today. The Republican conference opposes changing the rules on legislation, Popp told the newspaper. In the past, Republicans used the process of reconciliation to push legislation through without 60 votes. That's how the GOP was able to get the president's tax bill passed in December, garnering 0 Democratic votes. The tax package was Trump's single large legislative victory in 2017. This weekend, the president was expected to travel to Mar-a-Lago for a fundraiser that would have marked his first year in office, but was instead waylaid in Washington due to the government shutdown that started at midnight Friday. Trump has aggressively blamed Democrats for the shutdown this weekend. "Democrats are far more concerned with illegal immigrants than they are with our great military or safety at our dangerous southern border," Trump tweeted Saturday. "They could have easily made a deal but decided to play shutdown politics instead. We need more Republicans in 18 in order to power through mess," the president wrote. Trump's presidential campaign also put out a video that called Democrats complicit in all murders committed by undocumented immigrants. "President Trump will fix our border and keep our families safe," the video said. Friday's Senate vote to keep the government open, which failed, wasn't a straight party line vote, with a handful of Democrats voting in favor of the Senate legislation and a number of Republicans voting against it. On Sunday morning, Mulvaney, the director of the White House Office of Management and Budget, defended Trump's call for the Senate to invoke the nuclear option, pointing out this has long been the president's position. What the president did this morning is try and shed some light on the fact that if ordinary rules prevailed, the government would be open as of today, Mulvaney said on CNN's State of the Union. It also responds to the constant criticism we hear, "Oh, you Republicans control the White House, the House, and the Senate, why can't you just run the government?" But the answer is, as you've just laid out, it takes 60 votes in the Senate, Mulvaney stated. "We cannot open the government without Senate Democrat support, we don't have Senate Democrat support, which is why we are where we are."